Hello everyone, I'm here in the Royal Botanical Gardens in Sydney, Australia. Quite beautiful. I'm going to share with you 4 things you can do to find more time for your bucket list. Let's have a little tour. So the first thing is this. Share a story. Back in the day, let's say the British were fighting against the Dutch on an open field like this. So the British would be on one side, the Dutch would be on the other side. You'd have the infantry, which are ground troops, and the cavalry, which are on horses. And so imagine you had 60,000 infantry on this side and 10,000 cavalry. And on the left-hand side, the British, you have 50,000 on that side too. So imagine that's literally how they'd face off, which is why the British have these very large hats, because in the field back in the day, hats look more imposing across the field. Imagine there's 70,000 troops on this side, 50,000 on this side. So just imagine, if you will, when they say charge, the Dutch start charging over to the British side, and the cavalry literally start attacking the infantry on the same side of the Dutch. Now it seems so stupid, but our thoughts are the same way. Why do we have thoughts that corrode our own dreams? Why is it that, according to the lab of neuroimaging, we have 70,000 thoughts a day, yet when you see these troops fighting against each other, that's like our thoughts in our mind? So the first question is, and the first way to have more time for your bucket list, is to stop having all these negative thoughts. There has been proven research that positive thoughts and positive thinking, a better mindset by Dr. Carl Dweck, you have a fixed mindset, relative growth mindset. Literally, this is based on science. This isn't some self-help guru BS stuff. This is based on empirical evidence. So the first thing you need to do to find more time for bucket list is start removing the negative thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't have connections. All of that are just thoughts in our mind. There are 70,000 thoughts. There is the Sydney Opera House in the background. So again, there are 70,000 thoughts every day we have, according to the lab of neuroimaging. And so stop having those thoughts fighting against yourself. There are real problems out there. You don't need your own mind and your own thoughts to be the problem itself. So that's the first thing. Second thing are possessions. I was talking to a friend the other day in Melbourne, and she was shocked that I had this tiny carry-on bag and I had it here for 12 days. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just wear the same clothes a few times a day. I don't really care. So the second thought is, if you want to have more time for your bucket list, just have less possessions. I just got rid of my nice BMW because I'm just going to Uber around and walk around, and I know that's not practical for most people, but the point is, the more things you have, the more time it takes to maintain those things. Something as simple as a car, you have to maintain it by taking it to the shop, getting oil changes, getting car washes. All this stuff takes time away from your bucket list, whatever that bucket list goal is. One of my bucket list goals is to travel. So even today, it's a little tiny bag. So travel light, live heavy. So think about how important or not important it is to have possessions. So when I first moved out to California 10 years ago, I used to have a lot of things, and then I would just move a lot, about 10 times over the last few years when I first moved to California from New York City, and I got tired of moving stuff around. So consider minimizing your possessions, because you'll have more time for your bucket list. There's a thing called the 100 thing challenge, where it challenges you to have less than 100 possessions. So that's the second tip. Third tip are the friends you keep. You know, I don't know why people stay in the same relationships that stifle them. I don't know why they stay with friends that they grew up with if those friends are being negative and cynical and putting them down. It's just unnecessary. So you want to find more time to find for your bucket list? You're better off going to places alone or finding friends that have the similar interests as you do.